Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. I'm glad to have you with us today. My name is Renato Ivonescu, and I'm joined by my colleague, Danush Gheorghiță. Today, we are excited to introduce an upcoming game-changing feature, namely the Suite Installer. This feature is designed to tackle the deployment challenges, especially those many of you face when working with modular multi-tool environments. We'll begin by discussing the core challenges when distributing multiple applications. Then we will look at the limitations of current installer solutions. After that, we'll introduce the Suite installer and what makes it a modern and streamlined solution. And finally, we'll break down the key benefits and show you a live demo. Let's take a look at what modern deployment environments truly demand today. First, teams often need to deploy multiple apps quickly and reliably across various devices. They expect the process to be smooth, scalable, and require minimal configuration. Second, there is a growing reliance on modular component based applications, which adds complexity to deployment. And this complexity also needs to be addressed. Third, IT teams and developers aim to reduce manual overhead wherever possible. Time consuming setups, manual configurations, and inconsistent processes simply do not scale. And finally, perhaps just as important as the technical side is the user experience. Today's user expect a unified, modern, and visually appealing installer. Let's say one that feels professional, branded, almost like an app store for their software. Now, let's look at some limitations of current solutions. First, the user experience is often outdated when dealing with multiple apps in a suite scenario. Workflows are time consuming, both for developers who create and maintain the installers, and also for users trying to navigate them. Updates and maintenance can be complex and error prone, particularly when tools evolve at different paces. Installations are often unstructured and inconsistent, which can introduce support challenges and technical debt. We can say that these limitations have created a clear and growing demand for a unified, intuitive launcher that simplifies deployment and improve the experience end to end. And that precisely is the complex problem that the Suite installer is designed to solve. The Suite installer introduces a modern and intuitive way to distribute multiple applications in one streamlined package. You can bundle multiple apps into a single installer and present them through a clean, unified interface. It feels like your own branded app store, letting users pick which apps to install. But it's more than just bundling. It's about control and customization because you can tailor the installer's visuals to perfectly match your brand identity. And ultimately, it transforms setup into a user friendly installation experience that is customized, intuitive, and is tailored for your own environment. Let's highlight some of the key benefits that the Suite installer brings to the table. First, you get access to a built-in template within Advanced Installer, specifically designed to simplify Suite installer's creation. Setup packages can be added in seconds, and you can easily configure their properties. The Suite installer comes with a dedicated UI theme, ensuring a professional and modern look. You can personalize details such as icons, app description, and even include license agreements. With Suite Installer, managing updates for your bundled applications becomes significantly more streamlined. This reduces the overhead and complexity that is typically associated with maintaining multiple separate installers. And ultimately, it's about delivering a consistent and professional install experience from start to finish. Now that we've covered the key concepts, let's move to practice. I will head things to my colleague, the Notes, who will walk you through a live demo of the Suite installer in action.
Thanks, Renato, for the great introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan, and I'll take you on the technical side of today's session. In this part of the demo, I'll walk you through the Suite installer, showing you a real world example of how it works, and then we'll dive into the step-by-step creation process using the advanced installer. So the functionality that we'll showing you today, it's a long-awaited functionality, and we've built it using the state-of-the-art WinUI technology with a modern store-like for a polished user experience. My goal is to give you a clear picture of not only how easy it is to create a suite installer, but also how you can customize and bundle multiple applications that package together. This functionality that we're presenting today will be available starting with our next version of Advanced Installer, which should be available in about 3 weeks or so. We haven't mentioned yet, but the Suite installer support will be part of the Enterprise Edition, giving our advanced user a powerful new way to bundle and customizing multiple application setups. So let's jump right into the live demo. Okay, for that, I have prepared the Windows sandbox that I have right here with me. It's a clean VM. I have the setup for the Suite installer, and let's run and see how it looks like. Okay, so right away we have the installer. We don't have any interaction with the installer. It will automatically install the WinUI application, which basically manages the packages that we've added. So in this particular case, we've bundled the advanced installer, PacKit, and PowerToys. All these packages are bundled in the Suite installer as web installers. That means the payload of the total installer is quite light. It has only 35 megabytes. So when we choose to install any application, let's say we want to go with the advanced installer. Now we have the option to add it. And once we add it to the queue, we can select to install. For the selected application, right here we have a preview with all the applications available, and an image is displayed for each one that is added to the package. Once we go with a particular package, we've displayed these images in a carousel. You can also view it on a full screen, so you can add meaningful images for each package that you've added. The Suite installer right now it's downloaded the advanced installer and it's installing for us. Everything is done silently based on the command lines that you provide during the package configuration. Okay, let me close that. Now, once the package is finished to install, we have the option to open it. So right now, the Suite installer installed our advanced installer. We also see the shortcut on the desktop and offers the possibility to open. So for packages that are installed, we no longer have the option to add them. Instead, we have the option to open them. When we have open, it means that the package is already installed. Let's take another package. Let's add this one and install it. As you can see, I have multiple options how I can add a package for installation. Now we have this message box. This is intended. Basically, I wanted to show you that although this is a Suite installer, a package manager, we still have the option to schedule custom action before package installation or after the package installation. So the initial script that we've seen was executed while the download was started. So before the package installation, that means we have support to execute custom actions in case we want to further customize the user experience, or we need to execute those scripts for preparing the machine, or depending how our scenario will be. Once the installation for the Power Toys will be finished, we will have the same experience. We will have the open option for our package. Everything is done silently based on the configuration that you provide. We recommend to add the silent switches to avoid any UI displayed by the package during the installation. While the power toys is being installed in the background, let's take a look of the information that we have for each package. So first of all, we have the option to install the package. We have a description for each package available. Yes. And as an additional information, we have the publisher of each package, and in case we need to visit the EULA. Okay, I have right here the script that was executed after the package installation. So we had two scripts, one of those before the package installation and another one after the package installation. Great. Okay, of course, we have the option to visit the license agreement, as you can see. Now let's go back to the home page. Single package is left. All the other packages were installed. So if we take a look on the library section, library tab, we have the option to open the already installed packages and schedule the installation for the last one. So this is the experience that the user will have. Okay, let's proceed with the installation for the last package and let's install it. The same packet is being downloaded as we speak. You can queue multiple packages for downloaded install. Once the first package will be finished to be downloaded, it will be launched for installation, while the second will continue to download in parallel. And once the first package is installed, the second one will be scheduled for installation. If you need to display the dialogues of the packages, of course you are able to do so. But I always prefer to install packages silently. Okay, so this is our package. Remember, if we try to open again the package, okay, we'll see all these applications. The Suite installer demo is this one. Now, what we've done so far, we've installed our packages, but that's not all. The Suite installer will also have the option to display what's new for those packages that have updates available. So you can use the Suite installer not just for installing for the first time installation, but also keeping your users with those packages up to date with latest version available. And we'll see how that can be configured. Currently, we are on the latest version. We do not have any updates. Otherwise, if we would have any updates, they will be displayed in the what's new section. In this case, we don't have any. Okay, so what we've seen so far, we've seen a Suite installer package that is configured to install Advanced Installer, PacKit, and the Power Toys. Now, let's see how we configure this package, how this can be done in the Advanced Installer. For that, I will close the Windows Sandbox. Okay. And I have here the project that was configured. Now, this is the project. So that we use to create the Suite installer. So uh, in the Advanced Installer, you will have to create a new project. In the start, there will be a dedicated Suite installer template. I'll present first the current project structure, and after that, we'll go through the creation of a new one and see how this can be done. So first of all, once you create a Suite installer package, you have the views that are available and meaningful for this type of view. For those that are already familiar with the Advanced Installer, you most likely are used to see many views in the left menu, while here you have a few of them. This is happening because we only display the views that are related with the Suite installer. Most likely you will interact a lot with the suite product details, which basically you can set up the details for the package for the suite installer that will handle the application that installs the packages. Now, in the packages section, this is very familiar with the prerequisites. Basically, you can add those packages. And when adding the package, you can provide the URL where the package will be downloaded from. After that, you can pass the switches for the silent installation. Those will be used by the package manager, by the suite installer to install those packages silently. Remember when we installed both Advanced Installer and PacKit and even the PowerToys, we didn't get any UI from those because our suite installer will use the silent switches for installing them silently under the hood. Now, when adding a package, it's also you will most likely configure it for the supported Windows version. But because the Suite Installer template project is UI based, WinUI based, that means we only support from Windows 10 and above. So in the launch condition section, you will basically define you will have defined the supported operating system for the suite installer. So there is no need for you to configure the supported operating system for each package uh, at a time. Now, very important is to properly define the install condition for each package because this will greatly improve the user experience, and we will see how it can affect if the package does not have the install conditions defined. And the most what's new basically from the prerequisite view, we have the suite tab, which basically allows you to configure the application that shows all those information. Remember, when we installed our application, okay, I've closed the Windows Sandbox, but don't worry, we can see after that. So when we installed the Advanced Installer or any other package from the list, it was displaying some images from the gallery. You will define those images here. And maybe I should resume the test and run again the installer and see exactly where those images comes from. Okay, let me copy the installer. So, okay, again, the installer, we do not have any interaction with. Everything is done with a reduced user interface. Okay, let me. So we have this carousel that plays automatically, and for each package from our list, it will only take the first image, and that image is the one from here. Same for the packet, it will only display the first image that we've added right here. For those packages that have multiple images and maybe you want to display a different image, you can easily move up and down each image so that the first one will be displayed. Once you select the package, let's say the Advanced Installer, you see we'll have the screenshot section, which will basically display all the screenshots that we've added here. So if you add multiple images related to your application to the gallery, those will be displayed in this carousel where the user can see and maybe get more details about the application and decide to install or not. Remember, the WinUI application is like a store-based application for those that are familiar with the Windows Store. So it feels very intuitive and modern. And another section that it's important for you to make it right, it's the launch section. So basically what we have right here, it's the launch section that allows the Suite Installer Manager to launch our applications. Okay, where is it? It's right here. In this case, I've defined a folder search for my application with it's like a Windows installer standard search, and I'm searching for the advanced installer executable in the install location where I know that my application is being installed. Of course, this path is specific for each application. That allows to the suite installer to launch the application after the installation. So when you have an application to install, it will be installed based on the install conditions that we've defined right here, of course. Okay, downloading it, and the launch experience for the application once the installation is over is through the launch application section. If you do not provide proper details here, basically there will be no open option when the application is finished to install. So the user experience is affected. We highly recommend it to, we strongly recommend it to define the launch application section. Okay, you have some hints for the images, for the galleries, what size should be used for each image, and most of all, okay, we do have proper defined application which allows us to open the application after it was installed. And basically, all the information that we see in the application, yeah, we see right here description, publisher, and the additional tabs are defined in the suite installer tab, in the suite section. All those configuration that we provide here, they actually end up in an ini file. So when creating the suite installer, we had that 35 megabytes. Although none of the packages are actually part of the installer, when creating the suite installer, it have behind the hood the suite installer application that we see right here. And this is like any regular application. I can define the install location. I can further create shortcuts for my application. I can define um, the icon that will be displayed once the suite installer is installed, because I do have the suite installer right here uh, with the shortcut entry created, and so. As mentioned before, the suite installer can also be used for handling updates, and this is done through the updater. So you will configure the updater as any regular application that you have. The updater will, the suite installer will be used when generating the updates configuration file. For those that are somehow familiar with the updater, basically the updater is the one that is doing the whole job for detecting if a new application is available and so on. The suite installer will only display that information. It will use the updater to detect if new version is available and so on, and displayed in this dedicated section. Now, if you do not configure the updater, basically the what's new section, what's new tab, it will not be displayed in the suite installer. You will only have the home library. Let me put it and increase the size, and the library section, and of course the help. But that's it. You won't see the what's new section. This is only visible when you have the updater configured, and basically through the updater, the suite installer is able to detect if a new version is available and prompt you for those packages that have an update available. Uh, the update will be configured as for any other application. Now that we've seen what my current project contains, so I have the product details that I have configured, I have the updater, the packages, and those custom actions that were executed during the PowerToy installation. So if I take a look at the PowerToy's setup package, I can see that I have configured PowerShell script to run before the package installation and after the package installation. And those are configured in the custom action section. Of course, it can be any custom action from the predefined list, or you can add your own custom action. It will be the same executed as you configure it. And that's it. This is the whole structure of the project of that we've seen in the Windows Sandbox and its installation. Now let's try to configure a new project from scratch and see how that goes. Close this one. I will even close the Windows Sandbox because we shouldn't, maybe just put it in the taskbar. Okay, launch the Advanced Installer 23.0 that I have. Basically, that will be the next version of Advanced Installer. And in the new installer section, we will have the suite installer. As mentioned before, the support for creating suite installers will be available starting with the Enterprise Edition. Okay, let's create a project. Now, if we take a look under the files and folders, we see right away our suite installer application, basically that Windows Store based application that we've seen, being added as the resources for my installer. Now let's go back to the packages section and add our packages. Okay, we will go with a new package, suite installer. Okay, I think I have right here packages. Now we have the advanced installer, we'll select it. So although we've added the file from the disk, yes, we see that the suite installer is trying to download it from the web. We've chosen to allow selection from the disk because for packages, for MSI packages and some of the exe packages, we are able to detect install condition. That means there is no need for you to fill up the install condition. For those where we are not able to do so, and for that I will select, I think, Power Toys. Okay, it's right here. It will have the always install prerequisite. If you leave as a default option, you will see that there is no option to detect if the package was installed. So basically, you will affect the user experience once they try to add the package. The Suite Installer Manager will not be able to detect if the Power Toys was successfully installed or not. So this is why you should go, okay, I need to define the proper install condition. Usually how I do it, I open the Windows Sandbox, install that package in that Windows Sandbox. Being a clean environment, it means that it's easy for me to see the changes that are done on the machine and easily find the registries created by my application. For MSI packages and some of the exe packages, we are able to extract automatically the install condition, so there is no need for you to make that change. Going back to the files section, where we need to fill up the location where the advanced installer will be downloaded from. I have the install location already prepared. So this is the location where the advanced installer 22.9 will be downloaded by my suite installer. I have the install condition already defined. The next thing is configuring the suite information, basically the information that we see for each package when we click on it. Okay, install latest version. Okay, publisher, that will be our publisher. Okay, we need to specify the EULA, and the same, we will add a link to the to external URL. Yeah, so we'll use the logo. Now for the logo, you have the option to select an image from the project or from the disk. I will select an image from the disk. Okay, so I will use this one. Okay, and the gallery. Now let's add a few images for the gallery. It doesn't matter. I will add all of them. Remember, only the first image is being used for the package. So if we have added in bulk, then and we want a certain image to be displayed at the very top, then we will say move top. Also, we need to configure the launch application. So this is needed for the package manager to know what application to launch once the installation is finished. So it's better to provide and configure this section of the Suite installer template. Otherwise, you will affect the experience that your users will have. So, okay, that will be is.exe, and the search location. Basically, this should be the location where the application is being installed. For example, for the advanced installer is this one. Okay, let me expand. So our exe and the location where that exe can be found. Okay, now going back to the files and folders, um, I want to take a look at the shortcut, okay, and I want to provide a specific icon for my shortcut. Okay, let me take this one and the same for the product detail. Okay, this icon that we provide right here is not just being used to be displayed in the control panel, but the very same icon will be used by the Suite installer to display in the taskbar. So it's very important for us to provide this information. Okay, I think we have a minimal project which we can build and we can test. Okay, remember, I haven't touched the updater, so we should be able to see the difference between the current project that we've created and previously, because there will be what know what's new section. Okay, let's build the package. Okay. Oh, yes, very important. We see the wording. So for the second package that we've added, we see right here, we haven't updated the URL. So during the build operation, we will get this warning telling us that we either use a network share, so the package can also be used to download packages from a network share location, or to provide the proper download link for the package. So which was okay, it's Power Toys. I have it prepared right here. So in this case, let me rebuild the package. Okay, I will spin up a clean environment, sandbox. I always test my packages in a clean environment. I usually prefer sandbox being a light environment. It spin up quickly, and I have no doubt that I will always get proper. Uh, okay, the same installer, no user interaction. Going back to the library, we have the Power Toys. So this is why it is very important to provide images. You see right here the user experience that I have. This is happening because for the advanced installer, I have properly defined icon, logo, images that will be used for the gallery, while for the Power Toys, I haven't provided any. So you see how poor user experience is with that. Now, another thing that we are able to see is that we no longer have the what's new section. And this is happening because I don't have the updater configured. In the previous project, I had the updater configured, but it didn't find any update because none were available. But we've seen at least what is the experience when you have the updater configured now and not. I've also mentioned the important the icon that you provide in the product details. So the icon from here, it's not just added in the control panel, okay, but it's also added on the application on the Suite installer. And further used in the taskbar. So let's add the advanced installer, which we properly configured. Okay, it is being downloaded just as before. If we click on it, we can see all the images that we've added. So everything looks good. So basically any image that you add for the package, yes, they will be displayed here. And this will allow the user to get more familiar with the application even before installing it. Okay, let me see if I've added the silent switches for the advanced installer. Advanced installer was installed. Once the installation is over, I have the option to open the advanced installer. Remember, if I hadn't customized the launch application section, I wouldn't be able to launch my application from the package manager. So there are a few things that you need to take into consideration. Now, what I like most in Suite installer is that it also come on the light. So it's up to you how you want to be used. You can switch anytime between the application theme with a click, whatever you guys like first, like most. Now, what's interesting is that the current application that we see right here, the Suite installer, it will be published on our GitHub page. That means you'll have access and you can further customize depending your, so you can further go and let your imagination and improve the application. Of course, you can also suggest changes that we should add and improve and add them by default and make them available to you. Remember, this is the initial version, so we expect further improvements to be added based on the feedback that we receive. I'm not sure if I missed any steps, but I'm sure I have covered most. And in this case, I will end up the demo and go through the questions. The first question, when the application will be available, if it will be available in the professional or in the enterprise edition. As mentioned before, it will be available starting with the enterprise edition, starting with our next version of Advanced Installer. Once you open the start page, you should be able to see a new entry here called Suite Installer. And if you place the mouse over the text, you will see that the license required will be the enterprise one. So we have a suggestion for how to make this feature. So someone liked a lot this functionality and they would like to have it available in a lower version, even in the professional. So, and it's giving us some example of how other companies handle this. I see that someone already contacted and let you know to contact us further on support and discuss more about this. So for the moment, uh, we considered this as being part of the enterprise suite features. Another question, if it is possible with Java application. Of course, you can create installers for the Java applications. The Suite installer will, it's basically standard. It's WinUI based. It doesn't matter the type of packages that you are bundling. So it may be runtimes, it may be dedicated packages. It's up to you the packages that you want to bundle. We do not impose any restriction. It can be a React application. It can be a web hosted application that is running on local server. So there is no limitation in this. As long as you have an installer, or you can even use the advanced installer to create those packages, there is no restriction of the application that you can bundle. You can share your feedback if you have any feedback for us. The next version of Advanced Installer that will include this functionality will be available in about 3 weeks or so. So it is not much time left. So for those that maybe want to give it even a try, they can request early access. Otherwise, you can send us emails. Thank you so much, guys, for your attention. It was a pleasure having you here. Bye.